Hey, Bettina.
I'm good. It's 11:13. Life is good. Thank you for getting that loan funded
Hey,
yesterday.
whatever it takes. I've always been the kind of person that I do not want people that are homeless not to be in their homes. So
Well,
Amerifirst took the extra little oomph to get it done. A little bit of
sometimes that's what it takes,
a little bit of, hey, realistically, you got to look at the appraisal. There's nothing that says anything about door jams being on the line. I mean, I overanalyzed it and said, look, this makes no sense, guys. We got to get this funded, and then we'll send the appraiser back out there afterwards if that's what we need to do, and that's what we're doing. So
yeah. Well, we managed to get that appraisal waiver, and you know what it is that sometimes your sellers are fantastic, and sometimes they're not as communicative, or whatever. They're too discombobulated in their communications between all the different departments. And that's what it was like working with Open Door. And we all have that experience sometimes. And so as a buyer's agent, we do a little bit more. As a loan officers, we do a little bit more. So what's good is that we have a team that is willing to do more for our clients. So, which is cool. Yay.
Yeah, I have one today that same thing. It was a company that bought the property. I'm not going to mention the name because I'm just not going to do it. But and same situation. They were they went under contract 40 days ago. The client's supposed to close today. She's on a lease back on her current home, so she's supposed to move this weekend and to get out of her current home. And the repairs aren't done.
Yep.
So now she's like, I want more money. I want some concessions. I want something so that if I have to move in this weekend and you guys aren't done, I can pay to get these repairs done.
Right. And you hold those at title. That's often, and it's just about being creative. And I think that's why this, like all these different communities and networking is so good. Speaking of growing networking and how good that is, this Relo Matrix networking thing is kind of like growing.
It is. It's growing really fast. There's a lot more agents that are licensed now. It's going all over the country. Like I said, we're bringing on a branch in New Jersey. We're working on Virginia. Florida is already in place, and it's growing really fast. I feel bad because there's some Relo agents that want to join right away, but we may not have a branch there yet. We're working on it, but don't give up. I mean, continue to.
We're at the beginning of the journey. This is at the very beginning of the journey. So. Here's my other thought on, like, if Amerifirst isn't in those communities, it's okay to still take advantage of the residual component, right? And bring on people in where Amerifirst is located, and you can get licensed over there. Now, you might not get paid on your own personal loans on the things that you're doing, but that's okay if we're looking at the long-term investment, right? And that's what's so nice about it, this residual income. And once you, like, if it doesn't make sense, just crunching numbers. I like numbers because, like, numbers don't really lie, right?
That's right.
So that works out really well.
I mean, it's just like you. I mean, you're licensed in Florida and Texas right now, correct?
Yes.
But you have a group growing in Florida, and you got loans are going to be closing in Florida.
Dennis.
So I mean, and then he's got I think Shane under him that's going to start bringing some deals in. So that's a Relo loan officer as well that's already licensed. So you already have two in Florida that are completely licensed. They're going to bring on more people, and that's just going to continue that mushroom effect. Just boop, 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 boop.
Well, what's cool is that Dennis is a cool guy. So the people that he knows are cool people. Yes. So it's just kind of like, and I feel like same with Brett. Brett's a cool guy. The people he knows are cool people. So it's like you're meeting cool people. So on the flip side of that is, partner in this business with people that you want to do business with, because it keeps it fun. It makes it interesting, right?
Well,
it's like
I look at it this way. I want to do business with people that I can go on vacation with. That I know that we can go to Puerto Vallarta, or we can go to Puerto Rico, or we can go and we're going to have fun. And I can trust you around my friends and family. That's the people I want to do business with.
Puerto Rico, how's my room coming along?
Your room is pretty much done. It's got AC and a queen bed. The one we're still lacking is the bunk room. So me and Lori are heading back on the 20th of August. I'll be working from there for I don't know how long, maybe 4 to 6 weeks, but we will have the bunk room ready before we leave. So
Oh,
that,
yay! My room's ready.
so that, you know, but you can come, you and Juan can get away for a
I know.
weekend, but I know that you don't leave without the little ones. So
But yeah, I take a pack with us.
we'll
Well,
just have to put air mattresses on the floor for now in that room.
we're like, whatever. You know, we just need a place to park while we're like not in the mountains and the jungles on the waterfalls or the beach. Those are like my favorite places.
Oh, and you would be there's a 15-minute drive there on the backside of the rainforest. It's close to my house. It's called the Tina Falls or China. I can't remember the exact name, but
Okay,
it has
let's
a
go back to the Relo thing.
natural waterfall that you can slide down. Come on, that's so exciting.
I know, that's Ava's favorite.
Remember,
actually.
dream building is the #1 key to building any type of business, period. So even though we're talking about this is something that's going to impact somebody that's going to be like, wow, I wish that's something I want to do. And I know you would be there like every day.
You're right. So, and the vision board concept it's fact. You know, I don't believe it's theory. And the way we did a vision board is we just went to the dollar store. We did it for everybody in our family. We went to the dollar store and got a poster board. And then I went to Costco and got those little 4x6 photo papers. And then we connected all of our phones to the printer, right? Because it was Wi-Fi connected. So we connected it all. And then we just went to Google and we Googled photos of anything that we could envision. And what's funny is the kids started having bigger visions. They're like, oh, this. And then once they had that and were able to look at that every day, we had ours in an open place. Juan had his, I had mine, the kids each had theirs. And it was interesting how when we make those little micro decisions, the little micro decisions that add up to the big results, the micro decisions are always self-correcting us to go to that final goal that is our vision that we look at every day. And we got
and then you have to speak it into existence, because words are powerful when you speak. And I say that, apologize, I have a dog that's barking. I say that because there's times in life that when you speak it and you say it, it happens. My daughter her and her hopefully future husband, boyfriend right now, they're closing on their house in September, and they were speaking about houses last year and this, and then and then all of a sudden the house, someone canceled and they ended up with the house, which worked out beautifully, right? And then they're like, we really want to buy a new Tesla. We want to order one. I'm like, guys, you can't do anything until you close on your house. There's just you're not going to do it. And they're like, well, Dad, would you sell us yours? I mean, we really like your Model 3. And I'm like, no.
Go get your own.
Yeah, I said, unless my buddy Daryl at Huffines calls me and says he's got another one for me, you ain't getting mine, right?
So you just spoke that into the universe.
Exactly.
So you're just like, these are all the things that you got to speak into the universe.
I would turn the camera around and show you the new Tesla that's sitting in the driveway. So Daryl called me 2 weeks ago, and he goes, I just took in I'm trying to get a bid on a 2015 Model S. Would you be interested in it? And I said, yeah, as a buyer? He goes, yeah. He goes, I said, where's the bid at? And he told me, I said, sign me up. I'll buy it, right? Because it was a great deal. I mean, that car that I bought out there is probably worth $10,000 more than what I bought it for. And so I have a Model S with 37,000 miles on it. Beautiful car. And Brittany traded her car in for the Model S. And then she bought the Model 3 from me.
Oh my goodness.
So she spoke it, that she wanted it. And she got it.
Fantastic.
Now, Dad's being nice. I haven't made them finance the car in their name because I know they have to close on their house, right? But now she's got to pay off. We're going to pay off the other car, so that'll be a positive for them. And then after they close on their house, they'll go to the credit union and they'll buy the car from me.
So I have a question. So what is your vision for your group?
Oh, for my group, I want to be paying out over $100,000 a month to realtors that are sending us business. I want to be paying out $1 million a year. That's just the beginning. But just, on that 50 basis points, I want to be paying 100. That's step one.
How many transactions is that?
Well, I mean, it depends on
Oh, now,
let's use 400,000 as a round number, right?
Okay.
So that's $2,000. Let's take $2,000, 100,000 divided by 100,000 divided by $2,000. That's what I thought, about 50 transactions a month.
Okay.
And my team can handle that right now. I mean, we could do that. That would put us around.
Oh, yeah, that's easy breezy. That's right up
Well,
your alley.
we're doing 30, 40 right now, but I'm just saying if we had 50 Relo deals a month coming in.
Right. And
that's
that you could pay out 100,000.
My
God. That would be good.
If I paid out $1 million
and that's just
a year.
your branch. That doesn't include Dennis.
No, that's just
and all the other loan officers that are coming
there'll
on
be
board.
other branches Brent's, Dennis, and I can't say names that are coming on board. There'll be multiple branches that'll do that. But just think about that. If I could pay out $1 million a year, what kind of impact would I make on how many agents? I mean, that would just be.
Yeah, and on the residual side,
that can be even bigger. But I'm just saying
that'll be good. I think we need to really nail down what that number should look like. Exactly. I think that would be a lot of fun. So, speaking of visionary affirmations and stuff like that,
50 deals a month is not that big a number when you have maybe, let's say you have 500 agents that are licensed that are sending business.
Yeah.
I mean, that's less than 10%.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
It's a very reasonable number, but that would be step one. And then after we take that number and then multiply it.
By when do you want step one to be completed?
I have a goal of this time next summer.
Oh, I was thinking end of this year, but okay.
That's the reason why I don't say by the end of this year is because of the simple fact of the licensing backward process structure on some of the
stuff.
And
we're in Texas. That takes 3 to 4 months.
Exactly. If I was in Arizona, Florida, or somewhere like that it's happening quickly, totally different story.
Yeah. Actually, any state. Pick a state, any state.
I don't know what's going on with,
well, you know what?
I don't want to get political on here, but
vision board. I think one of the other things we can put on our vision board and affirm is the licensing process in Texas. Our state masters that process a lot faster. So that would be a good thing. And if for anybody who hasn't read Miracle Morning, I'm thinking I need to reread Miracle Morning because, and the lifesavers, the lifesavers, what S is for silence, A is for affirmations, V is for vision, E is for exercise, R is for read, and S is to scribe or journal. So
I need to read that book. I need to read that. And the other thing is we all have to work on everybody, we have to think about our habits. What do we do on a daily basis? What are you doing effectively to grow your business and do the things you need to do? And you're already going out there and searching for a listing. You're already going out there looking for buyers. Now just got to put that one little extra step in there that when you're communicating with that listing or buyer's agent that you tell them, hey, how would you like to get a raise on that deal? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and just,
what I tell them, I'm like, hey, on these conventional loans, my loan officer has joined a company that has found a way that it's legally and RESPA approved that he can compensate me for these loans. And they pay me a residual income on top of that. And so this company is great. You should learn about it. They're new to the area, but they're not new to the business. New in the industry. They've been around. You know what? I talked to a lady the other day who was from Arizona. She's here in Texas now. I forgot who invited her. And she's like, oh yeah, I knew Amerifirst. At least I knew that they're a reputable company. They've been around for a long time. I've closed a lot of deals with them. I was like, you have? She's like, yeah, I moved here from Arizona. I was like, oh, well, how
That's
about
right.
that? And
so they started in the 80s. That's a long time.
That's a long time. And she was actually going to go with the Rocket Mortgage deal. They were going to offer her 70 basis points, right? But she would have to do not just give out the application code, because you got Jackie to help make sure people fill out the application correctly, but gather all the paperwork, do all Like do all, and I'm like, for 20 additional basis points. And then I was on a Facebook, I saw a Facebook post for loan officers, and this loan, seriously, in her name, did you see my post on Relo Matrix today? She said something like, sometimes I just throw on stuff and run it through desktop underwriting. I know I don't even put it correct. 90 comments. Everyone's like, I know, right?
126 like, so far.
Oh
like
man.
Growing.
And people are like commenting, it's like, I know it's hard. Sometimes I use a checklist, but da 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 da. And I'm just kind of like, this is what's wrong. Like, no, that is such a bad idea. Because at the end of the day, you can't do that. It can't just be about your money. You have to prioritize your clients and what's best for them, right?
You got to have somebody with experience behind you that's going to handle the things for you.
But they don't offer residual income. And here's the other thing I found out that's really cool. So we've had a lot of people register, right? And they're like, oh, and they kind of put off the education, but then like they get a loan, right? And they're like, oh shoot, I could have gotten paid on that. Or they come across a loan officer or somebody, and then they're like, all of a sudden they're interested, because this program, if you're a realtor, it empowers all realtors. There is no reason why we should not take advantage of this opportunity. Like,
how much more educated that you feel that you went through the program?
I'm a better realtor. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, and you know a lot more than you didn't know before. Now, remember, but there's one thing you got to remember. You got to remember one thing. Even though you're a Relo agent and you have your loan officer license, don't forget, stay in your lane.
Oh, shush. Whatever.
She tells me that all the time. When I get involved in stuff she's handling, she's like, get in your lane, Louis. Get out of my business. No.
Well, Jill is like, she's hardcore. She's handling her stuff. She's like, it's because she's going 120 miles per hour, and you're like, don't cut her off. She'll run you over.
She's like,
she's lapping all of us. Hey, Jill. Thank you for that.
I'm so happy that she survived. I'm happy she survived her bout with, she got sick, and that she's doing. I mean, she's 100% better. She's been back at the office now, and thank God we're back to smooth sailing again. But everybody's healthy. Me and Lori got tested yesterday. We'll know today if Lori's negative now. So,
and Lou, how's Lou?
Lou's doing really good.
Good.
So just
Tanya and Jamie are solid.
everybody's poor. I mean, it's just funny how we ended up with COVID. My wife ended up with COVID again for the second time. I'm lucky I have the antibodies.
Yes.
I'm very blessed that my heart doctor told me not to get the shot because I had antibodies. Mm-hmm. If you have suffered, and this is not political, but if you suffered and had COVID already, get your antibody test before you go get the shot. Just do it, because if you have the antibodies, it's not recommended. My doctor says it's not recommended for you to get the shot. Okay, just be careful with that. Okay, there were some kids on Newsmax, 18-year-olds. The 19-year-olds were caught. One's a college basketball player, the other one's a high school basketball player, and they had both had it before, and then they end up getting the shot, and both of them are having issues with clots and enlargement of the heart because they still had antibodies. So make sure you get antibody tests before you go get a shot. That's all I gotta say. Because and
a lot of people had COVID, didn't know they had COVID.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So get your antibody test, find out if you had it or not, and if you still have antibodies, you're good. You're safe.
You're safe.
I'm living proof.
My wife. You've already accomplished what the vaccine is wanting to accomplish for you. So
exactly.
Yay.
So I lived in a house with a wife for the last 10 days. It was tested positive COVID last Sunday. And I got to say another thing, and I shouldn't say it. There's some medication out there you guys really need to find out about, because my wife.
Yeah, so reach out to
3
Louis
days.
About it.
I'm not going to say 3 days. She was almost over it.
Yeah, your doctor's taking such great care of you guys. I know you're good. Yeah. Speaking of, if y'all need vendors in the North Texas area, like Louis always recommends me the best guys. I got my granite done, my floors, he's got good contacts. So
I'm not going to recommend somebody that I haven't used myself. So, and if you ask me for certain things that I don't trust, I'm going to say I don't have anybody, because I'm just not. But like, you know, there's certain flooring guys I've used, my granite guy, my tile guy. There's certain people that I just trust my cement guy, I've used them, you know, numerous. He just redid my driveway. You know, there's certain vendors and people that I've used in the past from construction, from having my own home building business and commercial business, that I'll recommend them. Now, if they did me wrong, boo, no, I'm not.
Well, of course not.
It's like me. It's really hard to recommend a mover. I mean, how many people know a great mover? Think about it.
Well, Black Tie does a good job. They're just upscale. Hey, I was going to say one more thing. So I've noticed, if you have not looked at a presentation in a while, go take a look, because we're having different presenters. So I think David did it yesterday. Scott and Rob did it Thursday. Dennis did it last Tuesday. You did it once. Rob did it once. Scott did it. So it's like Scott, Rob, David, Dennis, you, like all these, and everybody brings their little nugget to the presentation, which is a different really perspective.
Cool. Everybody looks at. I missed yesterday because I got stuck at the DMV. I set an appointment to get there and get out early, and 3.5 hours later,
it's a DMV.
Way past.
It's okay. Hey, let's wrap this up. I know that you've got a lot to do today. It's the end of the month, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. And I really
Are you cutting me off, Bettina?
No, I'm letting you get back to work.
No, I know, I got a lot to do. I really do.
Before we get in trouble with Jackie
and Jill and Jamie
and Jill and Jamie.
And
I know. So that's good.
They're gonna go. I mean, the list. I'm just looking at my list. They just keep adding to it. So just keep it growing.
That's good. I know. It's okay. Hey, I appreciate you tackling all that stuff, and I appreciate them putting stuff on your plate. And for them to take stuff off your plate so that you can focus on the more complicated stuff, like calling in a favor to the underwriter. Thank you.
Or today's my update call day. So today I'll be calling listing agents and some buyers agents to give them updates. So I have to do that today and tomorrow. So that takes a bulk of time, but it has to be done. Yes. It has to be done. We have to update everybody so they know what's going on. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, Bettina. Thanks for having us. Let's get Brett and Dennis on this call next week.
Well, Dennis was coming. He had like his truck. The mechanic's supposed to fix it yesterday, and they didn't get it fixed yesterday. So he was in the middle of getting that handled now. Yesterday was scheduled. Today's an emergency because he needs his truck. Oh, and Brett's working on getting he's got that huge group coming over. So he's been very diligent with that. So I appreciate that. So, but we're all here to help each other. So that's why we're all here to work together. So y'all let any of us know. All right. Talk to you soon.
Later.
Bye.